Hello and welcome. My name is Caitlin Coombs with energeticcity.ca, and in this series, I'm speaking with each of the candidates for the Prince George, Peace River, and Northern Rockies Member of Parliament seat in the 2025 Canadian federal election. We're asking questions posed by our readers about local, provincial, and federal topics. Today, I'm joined by Cory Longley of the New Democratic Party. Cory, how are you doing today?
I'm groovy, Caitlin. I'm having a great day so far. I want to do a quick shout out to my friend Victor over at Golden RV. He's working on my RV right now while we're doing this. So I'm being doubly productive just to let the voters know right now.
Wonderful, you can multitask. All right, so starting off, what are your thoughts on Northern Health and what is your party's plan on addressing healthcare funding, specifically for the nursing shortage?
Okay, so first off, I'm not going to try to avoid it by saying that's provincial jurisdiction and this is a federal election.
Mhm.
You all know that, and you're all smart enough to know that. But what we should have is an MP in the riding that can cross those aisles and can reach out and try to make some changes and differences. I believe that Northern Health is an organization that does a good job in certain areas. But I mean, like everything, they're stretched. Our region is so huge. In fact, when we look at it in terms of geography for specificity, our riding is bigger than most European countries. So for us to have the medical services and care that we desire, we're going to have to maybe change things up a little bit. I like some of the ideas I've been hearing about teams-based medicine, where we can see a physician not have. See, a lot of people don't know this, maybe, but physicians they're private business. A physician has to have an office. They have to hire a staff. They spend time that they could be healing little babies and orphans, doing paperwork. And what would be interesting, in my opinion, is to see those administrative things removed from a physician's plate, as it were, so that they could come in and focus on their job, which is care and looking after us, right? You wouldn't ask a mechanic to look at your vehicle and then not be. He's got to look at your engine, right? He's not going to drive it for 2 hours before he can even get inside there. You want these people to be able to do their jobs properly. And I think that as an MP, my impetus would be to just constantly be checking up to make sure that things are moving the way they are. No one wants closures. No one wants any of that kind of stuff. In fact, as the person that's running for the NDP, the party that actually brought us universal health care and is still actually working on the universal part, much to the chagrin of the two other parties, it's a super important goal to us. I'm an older fellow right now. I have diabetes. I'm type 2. I have health issues that could possibly be coming up in the near future. Hopefully not. But the only party that's actually been working to cover everybody in Canada from, top to toe is the NDP party. So pretty strong on healthcare and the importance of having it.
All right. And switching lanes a little bit, what's your opinion on LNG in the region and expanding our markets to Asia?
I love LNG. I don't know if you knew this or not, but once upon a time, I used to be a broadcaster like you, Caitlin. Before that and after that and in between that, I'm actually a ticketed gas fitter.
Okay.
I am a plumber by trade, and I do gas fitting as well. I love LNG. I think LNG is a fantastic fuel. If you have to burn something, if you have to consume something, LNG is a good product as far as I'm concerned. Way better than I think wood burning, just for pollution, that kind of stuff. Natural gas is abundant in the Peace Country. We've seen the Montney reserves, all of these things. I think that it's an excellent fuel for us to be using, especially in the north, where heat pumps still are not quite, in my opinion, up where they could be for our heating needs. I spent time in Kitimat as a plumber at the new terminal there. So I'm in favor of LNG. I'm in favor of us using our resources because we have them, and we could be using those to increase our standards of living. We could be using those to increase the services that are part of our region and our riding here. So am I for it? Yes. I am not against it. I like it. I like LNG. I like propane. I like all of those kinds of things because that's part of my living, and it's a part of the living of a bunch of the people in this region here.
All right. And what is your response to tariffs and the future of our trade relations with the US?
That's a good one, because that's one of the things that I've been hearing a lot when I've been talking to people is about this threat, this betrayal from our our friends down south, right? I believe firmly that America is one of Canada's strongest friends and allies.
Hmm.
I think that they've got a little bit of an orange hiccup down there right now. Um, it's only going to be around for a couple of years. We only have to brave this for a little while, hopefully. And I think that the targeted counter tariffs that we're using, very smartly, by the way, Canadians are great at strategy. So remember that. When we look at our governments targeting red states so that those people actually feel the pain of what they're doing to us, but they're paying for it, it's going to take a little while for that to roll out, that wave, until they're looking at their bills just like we do and say, why is this so expensive? They'll know why. It's not because of Canada, it's because of their leadership and what their leadership is imposing on us. The things that I'm more concerned about, tariffs, schmariffs. Canada's tough. We're strong. We're one of the richest nations on this planet. Um, I mean, yeah, it's concerning, but it's not my biggest issue or my biggest concern. My biggest issue and concern is our sovereignty. We have threats now from the President of the United States saying that he wants to annex Canada, make us the 51st state. Well, good luck with that, buddy. That's not going to happen here. Canadians are fighters. Americans, I don't know if you're familiar with manifest destiny. That's an idea that's just kind of BS as far as I'm concerned. I just think it's kind of funny that, previous to this election, we had one province that wanted to separate, like really, really bad. They wanted to take their poutine and they wanted to leave, right? Now that's changed. Now our neighbors to the east want to separate perhaps with their premier there. I don't think that's very far looking, and I don't think that's a very, very good plan. I mean, even Greenland is telling the United States to get lost, right? So that's my big concern, and that's a concern I'm hearing from a lot of our constituents that when we talk about it, this is the one we're hearing about threats to our sovereignty from the United States. And it's interesting when you look at the two parties that have ruled Canada since Confederation. There's only two of them, Liberals and Conservatives. Those two parties, they're beholden to someone, right? When we look at conservative, traditionally people think they're beholden to business, and they are. Their biggest supporters, their biggest lobbyists, they're internally in the party. Loblaws is a huge multinational company. Jenny, I think, is Pierre's buddy that does communications for that works for Loblaws. So the Liberals, the same thing. Mr. Carney, running for Prime Minister of Canada again. These two parties are interwoven with the large corporations that have more money than you and I. I'm not feeling like a 1%er. How about you, Caitlin? No. I don't put my money in an offshore bank account because I can't. I don't have enough, right? So there's only one real party that's looking out for everybody else that has, paycheck to paycheck, or perhaps needs new glasses or some tea, right? It's interesting that our incumbent MP doesn't care about your teeth or my teeth. He wants all my teeth to fall out because he's voted against dental care 3 times in the House of Commons. 3 times. That should be like, you're out now, right? NDP is the only party that is not beholden to rich corporate donors. Never have been, never will be, right? And people are going to say, they're owned by unions. Yeah, join a union. Unions are democratic institutions. You vote in a union. You vote for who you want to run. You vote as a union what direction you want to go in. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that one. We're not owned. We don't owe anybody anything except for the people who support us and put us in power and believe in what we're trying to do, which is the best for Canada.
All right. What is your opinion? Because on the similar line, but what's your opinion on the carbon tax?
What carbon tax?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm serious. Like,
Mhm.
what carbon tax? This was a big. Okay, I'm going to come at it from the point of the view of the conservative here for a second, because I like to break my bubble and I like to look at it from different points of view, just so I can kind of be as informed as I can be.
All right.
There is no carbon tax anymore. Everybody complained, "There's carbon tax on." You made more money when the carbon tax was in place on the rebates than you paid for the carbon tax. So anybody who was against the carbon tax can't do basic math. Hey, whatever, that's fun. Politics is emotional. You get something, and Mr. PP was really, really working hard on X the tax, and now he has to find another noun, the verb. That's fine. Carney cut it out. It's gone. Right? BC just followed with the carbon tax being gone. So keep up, conservatives. Find something else to be really upset about. You've only had a pipeline given to you. You've only had LNG given to you. You've only had all of these other things given to you, and then you have to pivot to find something else to be angry and rage farm over, right? There is no carbon tax right now. Do I think personally there shouldn't? Absolutely. I don't think that the carbon tax should apply to you and I, because right now the only carbon you and I are generating is we're just breathing out CO2. Large superheat polluters should pay their fair share. That's where I stand on that one.
All right. And what's your idea of the future of energy in our region?
Oh my God, we're so rich here. We could do so many awesome things, right? I would love to see more wind power, right? We've got wind power in Tumbler. We've got wind power in Dawson Creek. I would love to see more and more of that, because I don't know about you, but I heard a big news story where there was a wind tower spill. And oh my goodness, the environmental consequences. Oh yeah, there were none. Solar generation, what a great idea. Why aren't we doing more of that? Panels are coming down in price uh, as we speak. These are great things, and we could be turning those things as part of our urban planning, right? We need to cool our cities, our towns. Sometimes they get hot because we lose a lot of our trees and things like that through development. Well, if we put up solar panels, we have shade now. We've created a place. Lots of European countries are using it to their advantage. They're putting up the panels so that there's a cycling area underneath it, along a highway, what have you. The only thing that's holding us back in the peace country is imagination and a lack of it. So what we could be doing is we could be inviting all kinds of people here and setting up consortiums to grab electricity from the sky, like Pierre Poilievre said, right? Let's just be an electrician. We'll just pull it right out of the sky. Or we could be like a real person and not go crazy with the hyperbole there and just take advantage of the opportunities that we have here and maybe look forward a little bit.
All right. And how will you make housing more affordable for seniors?
Okay, well, here's the thing. Housing should be affordable for everybody. I don't know about seniors particularly, because well, I should know. I got a discount the other day because I turned 55. I couldn't believe it. It was like, great. You must be mistaken. I can't be that old. But apparently I am. I'm a
Mhm.
senior now and I get a discount. So when you're charging me for the interview here, I'm on a slightly less. Okay. Seniors are important. Seniors built this region, right? Seniors are the ones that put in the time. They're the ones that they're entitled, and they deserve everything that they have put it in it. When you're looking at the other parties, when you're looking at the liberals and the conservatives, it wasn't too long ago Mr. Poilievre wanted the retirement age to actually go up for people. This is who this guy is, and this is who you should be voting against. The NDP believe that seniors in our communities are treasures, right? They're a repository of knowledge. These people know how things are done and how they have been done for years, and we should be treating them with dignity and respect. And so what that is, a UBI. It's a fantastic way to do that, and the NDP is in favor of a universal benefit and income that you would get because of who you are as a citizen of this country. So you wouldn't have to worry about your rent anymore. You wouldn't have to worry about shopping at the store to get the cheapest food that you can get, because you'd be able to afford these things under an NDP government. That's kind of where I'm at with this. I think elders are important. I mean, we would not know any of the stuff that we know without them.
No. And what is your opinion on the Firearms Act?
Dude, I love firearms. You're looking at me and going, oh, that guy's kind of an orange fella there. I served in the military. I was a naval reservist. I fired all of the finest weapons that Canada can produce and acquire
Thank you
throughout
for
the
your
world.
service, by the way. Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you. You're welcome. Right? You're welcome. I think that firearms are very important, especially in a rural setting. Now, do you need an AR-15? Probably not. If you're gonna use a weapon, why would you buy, first of all, an American weapon like that? You could buy an automatic weapon that's not from the United States. I mean, look outside your box, people. Tariffs, right? I would go with a fine manufactured Belgian FN if I had my choice. If you wanted a weapon that's guaranteed to clear an obstacle, that's what I would go with. That's the Canadian Forces weapon that I trained on back in the days. I think that everybody should have access to whatever tools they need to ensure their family safety, their property safety, all of these things, right? So I love them. I actually won the media challenge not too long ago. Well, it was probably long ago. But yeah, we're blowing clay pigeons out of the sky. I kicked ass. It was great.
Nice.
So I'm for it.
Perfect. Then the last question, why should people vote for you?
Well, people should vote for me because not only am I awesome, I'm an incredibly hard worker. And when I set to my mind to something, I try to get it done. This is the second time I've run in a federal election here. The only person that's probably run more than that is the incumbent, who's been in for over 10 years, right? Come on, man. Freshen up a little bit. Let's try to look at some new options, baby. I think that anybody who sees our riding knows that not much has changed in those 10 years, right? I was making a joke earlier about how our MP treats his service here like a submarine. And not a fancy submarine, or like a West Edmonton old submarine, right? Where the election is called, he surfaces. He cruises on the surface so people can see, oh, we have a submarine over there. As soon as the election is over, he's back down into the water. You never see him around, or at least I don't. I think that your MP is someone that should be highly visible in the ridings, should be out at all kinds of meetings, should be listening to the people that live in the riding, and discussing those ideas without bias or, well, every human being is inherently biased. Every human being. But I would promise that I would never block a member of my riding from social media, from attending meetings, from any of that stuff. We've got an MP here that is not willing to entertain new ideas or listen to diverse voices. And you can tell that when you go to his webpage. I can't remember. I would encourage you all to take a look at, I think it's called voteright.ca. It's a group of people that determine or urge MPs to vote a certain way. And it tends to be a Christian right way. It tends to be a Christo-fascist way. So Bob's on there. And Bob is one of the blue MPs that are doing that. Now, I don't want to judge things, but 50% of the people that live in this riding are women. Why would you vote for someone as a woman that wants control over your body to tell you what you can do with your body? I wouldn't. Why, as a person that's LGBTQ plus, why would you vote for that person? I wouldn't. They want to take your rights away. This is a group of people that want their eyeballs in your bedroom. They want to know who you're having fun with. They want to know who you're having relationships with, and they're going to judge that. So why would you want to do that? I would encourage everybody to check that out just to make sure, because I'm giving everything here as honestly and as up to date as I possibly can. And you're probably familiar with that little checklist this group has, right? By the way, I'm a red light on their page when they rank candidates because I believe that women have a right to control their bodies. I believe that abortion is healthcare. I believe that you can get the heck out of my bedroom, conservatives. That's why I'm out on that one. So that's why people should vote for me. You should vote for me because you're going to get an honest, hardworking guy who shares the same ideas as the majority of the people in this riding. Well, what we need to do is we need to get more people out to vote. Bob's numbers were, yes, he won by 60 some odd percent, but it was pretty low numbers, right? So let's get more voters out. Let's get them to the polls and hopefully we'll make a difference this time.
All right. Well, wonderful. Thank you very much for talking with us today.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure. I don't get a chance to sit down with awesome people very often and just do the political talk. This is my Olympics, right? Because we have an election usually every 4 years. So this is the big time.
Well, wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Caitlin. Thanks for having me.